Hey you guys, it's Savannah. What is going on? Today I am going to be doing a full tour of my plaza and I'm so excited to show you around. This has to be my favorite build for the plaza I've ever done. I find the plaza to be one of the hardest biomes to decorate in Dreamlight Valley just because it feels like such an important central location, and I typically was in the habit of keeping my Scrooge's shop, and now we have Daisy's shop as well as Remy's restaurant. I was in the habit of keeping them all in the plaza, but I've done something completely different with this build, and I actually don't have any of the shops or restaurants in my plaza, and I'm much happier with my plaza in its own kind of world, shop free. So what I have done is completely transformed the plaza into a neighborhood. This was very much so inspired by one of my favorite TV shows, Desperate Housewives, because they live on this beautiful street, Wisteria Lane. So I wanted to bring some touches of Wisteria Lane into Dreamlight Valley. I actually filmed the whole process of building this plaza and have a slow build up on my channel. So if you're interested in seeing my thought process for everything, how I came up with the placement and the layout, I would definitely recommend you check that out, or if you just want something cozy and fun to watch as you are decorating. So we have this kind of main street going throughout the plaza. I will show you guys how this looks in the overhead as well. But I did something kind of different from how I was traditionally setting up my plaza. Usually I was in the habit of putting all the shops and like the restaurants and everything in these back corners of the plaza towards the dream castle, but I found actually that I don't really like that. It's annoying to have buildings there because there's mining nodes in those corners, and also I just kind of like now having the houses on this side or the buildings on this side because they kind of block off what is going on in my meadow, and I like that. So of course, coming down from the central platform, we have the little main street here. I did use this gazebo from Tiana's Dapper Delights Star Path as my little connector leading down into the meadow, which I do have a full tour of as well, so we won't go down there. Sorry, Figaro. He's out here moonwalking in the plaza. I wanted to keep this build full of lots of flowers, so there's definitely a floral theme throughout, and I also kept it quite symmetrical, which is something I don't always do in my builds. Usually I keep my builds really natural, but for the plaza I wanted to do something really quite structured. Oh my gosh, this is so cute with Fairy Godmother and Belle over here. Oh my gosh, and Ariel is peeking up from the sunlit plateau. We got all the princess girlies over here. I love to see it. So down at the end of this street, I have this little yellow house, Charlotte's house. We've got Belle out front. Oh my gosh, Mirabelle's coming over. All the girlies are coming out. I love it. They're actually looking so cute over here. This is Lady's house, also from the premium shop. I think I used all premium shop houses in this build. I did. Oh, and here's Eric to come and kill the mood. The other houses I placed on the other side were this blue Victorian house, and then of course this like monster house from Monsters Inc. But let's continue back along the path this way. I loved including so many different like benches throughout this area. It's just really fun to see the villagers sitting and enjoying the scenery. So we have Lady's house at the end of the street with a little bike out front. And then in between these houses, I made a little bit of a garden setup. So I have all of my lemon trees surrounding this topiary here. On the other side of the blue house, mirrored on the other side of the plaza, you'll see I have all my apple trees there. And then in back of this house is actually really cute because it has a back door coming out the back of the house. So I wanted to make a cute little backyard area. So we have the little bonfire going with the little chairs around it and a barbecue here. I wish you could actually cook on these barbecue stations, but you can't. So I did add in an ancient cooker on the side here just so I had an option to grab some meals or get some things cooking, especially for this star path. I find that handy. These little garden stepping stones were from Aladdin's star path, and they are so good. They worked really well to kind of fill up these little spaces where I just had some empty space and didn't really want to use this brick path just because the way that the plaza ends on these sides here. From the current star path, I added in this beautiful floral arch leading into my meadow, which has a fairy theme, and I did add in another one on the other side next to my apple trees. You'll see there as well. But let's get back onto the main street here, and I will show you guys in the park over here. So this was a bit of a filler build. I wanted a place to have like a chill little spot for my villagers to hang out, but this is also quite a functional build, even though it is a filler build. So here is where I've moved all of my flowers, and I have been liking lately arranging the flowers and the biomes, kind of grouping them all together in a build somehow. So I'll usually put them around a fountain or a water feature of some kind, or just in a little like central garden, just to kind of keep them together. It helps me to remember to water them, so I can easily see like, oh, are any of the flowers dry? Let's water them. Or if I need to grab some to give a villager their favorite gifts or something like that, it's just been really handy. And I think they look really cute all in this garden as opposed to just randomly spawning throughout the plaza. Now there's a little picnic area in the back of the park. We have a little bench, and then of course I wanted to add in some storage here as well, because I try to keep my biomes as functional as possible. So I try to always have some storage available. I try to have a cooking station and a crafting station if possible. So here I added in this little Lukey's Shave Ice cart, and in here I just added some supplies that I gather in the plaza, as well as some favorite foods for the squirrels. So that is what is going on in there. Just a really easy spot for me to drop some plaza essentials. Oh my gosh, look at Merida and Ursula sitting here. Merida sitting anywhere in the valley just cracks me up because girl's posture is not the best, but I can relate. We've got Aladdin here checking out the street, and then at the end of this street, I wanted to try something really different and make a cul-de-sac. I had never really tried to make a cul-de-sac in any of my builds. Alice, please go check it out, girl. I did not see her look both ways before she crossed the street, but who am I to judge? I'm out here just standing in the middle of the road. To the right here, we have the blue Victorian home. It looks really cute. Actually, did they change it a little bit in this most recent update? It looks a little more weathered than I remember it. Did they change this house? Maybe I'm imagining that. I think it's really cute. It's a beautiful home. If this pops up in your premium shop, I think you should snag it or at least pin it for later. I added some blue flower pots out front of this house and this little flower wagon with the pumpkins in it. And then this is my little build with all of the apple trees that I mentioned before. So we have lemon trees on the right side and all the apple trees on the left. And then over here, I mentioned I had placed this little banner leading into my meadow as well. And then we do have this cute little rabbit hole over here by the forest, and I'm really hoping it stays. I think it's so cute. I want to keep it here. So I added in this little down sign from Alice in Wonderland because we're going down the rabbit hole there. So I just thought that was really cute, and I've just been so excited for Alice to be in the valley. This has been my favorite update so far. One bad thing about these plaza trees is they drop so many sticks, so I don't love having all the sticks spawning in the road, but it is what it is. Just a few more bits to show you. Of course, in the center of the cul-de-sac, I placed the gazebo, and I thought that that was just a cute little filler to put in the center. Oh my gosh, Alice. Alice with the jump scare. Alice is hanging out in front of the monster house, which I was really unsure of placing in the plaza, but it kind of worked perfectly with the rest of these Victorian style homes, and I do actually really like it. So again, tons of little bird houses in front of this house. And then to the right of it, I wanted to add in a little filler build. So I made a tiny little playground or a park here. So we have the little wagon out front with our little frog plushie, I tried to make some kind of like sandbox situation. So I put a little sand castle and a sand pail there. We have the slide, the little ball on the ground, and then this is a cool item. So this is a chair you can get from reordering the story pages with the lore keeper on Storybook Vale. So I'm always down for some more kidcore items in this game. I think it's really fun to decorate with them and leave like toys scattered throughout the valley. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing my plaza. This has been one of my favorite builds so far. I just don't know if I'll ever be able to tear down this plaza because I think that it is such a good layout for me. And it makes me happy to see all the villagers enjoying it as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one and that it has given you guys some inspiration. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this one and subscribe for more decorating content. I almost forgot I wanted to show you guys how this looks in the overhead. So I have the dream castle back up this way behind me, and then we're kind of looking down into the plaza with the meadow just behind it. So really simple path layout. This darker path is meant to be like the street, and then this white brick is meant to be kind of like the sidewalk. So feel free to definitely take some inspiration from this layout. Experiment with making a little cul-de-sac. It's actually quite fun and could work for a lot of different themes depending on what kind of like city or little street neighborhood you want to build. And doing neighborhoods is a great way to group together homes that are similar. So if you have a bunch of houses, maybe try making them into a neighborhood, and they don't all necessarily have to be similar, but when you have them in a setup like a neighborhood, they'll naturally kind of start to feel like they go together.